You're looking at a drywall repair that I'm going to explain to you in this video how we went about it. There was another electrical box here the customer didn't want, and so we covered it and we textured over it, all within 1.5 hours worth of time. This texture, which is wet right now, will be turning white and will be hanging wallpaper right over it. Okay, so stay tuned for the video to see how we did this drywall repair patch plus matching texture following this frame. We need to do a quick fix on a wall while wallpapering. Oftentimes, I'll get a customer who doesn't realize they have a hole in the wall behind a picture, or in a case like this, they have a hole in the wall that was caused by an electrical issue. And so the customer asked if I could just put the wallpaper over this. And I said, well, if I were from the ghetto, my answer is yes, of course you can do that. But I'm not from the ghetto. And so that would be what we call in Brooklyn, that's ghetto, right? I think the phrase goes elsewhere too. Anyway, we can patch this and do a lot better than just hanging the wallpaper over this. Let's say this were wallpaper. Eventually the wallpaper would sag and you'd see it would look horrible. And if you're a pro, never put your name on anything that looks horrible, because when the neighbors and the friends see that, who wallpapered this? Good, I won't be using him. Okay, so how do we fix this? There's many ways to fix this. You could do a lot of things, but in this video, I'm going to use this quick patch, and this is simply we're going to use 5-minute mud because this needs to be wallpapered today. And so I'm going to put mud on this side of this thing. The non-printed side, or the printed side. It said on the directions. The non-printed side, this side, so this is going to be shown, this printed side. And I'm going to put I'm going to butter this, put it down, let the plaster come out, and that will lock itself in. And then you see we extend beyond the patch to make it stronger. If you only extended this far, you don't have a strong repair. You know what I mean? If you only extended this far. But we're doubling the size of the repair. This is going to be nice and strong. It's going to be hard. Okay, I'll see you on the next frame. You could accomplish the same repair by using tape. There's one brand you could use. I forget what it's called, but it's very similar to the patch. We're not going to be using that. You could use fiberglass mesh, right? And what you would do is put plaster on the surrounding area, crisscross the tape, which gives it strength, cross, down, over, plaster. Then as it's setting, push it in, so that your plaster firms up inwardly. You could always build outwardly as needed, but you don't want a protrusion with hard plaster. So you just push it in with your palm. Not right away, but after it's set, just push it in as it's setting. If you do it when it's dry, it'll crack. But as it's setting, just push it in, make an impression with the palm of your hand. In this case, we're not going to do that. And so let's get going. Let me show you what I'm going to mix. Come down here, and we will show them. We have a 6-inch taping knife. Okay. Real quick. We hold. Okay, so we have water already. Oh, I hate spilling this stuff. I had too much water in there, but that's all right. 5-minute mud, which means that 5 minutes after you mix it up, you have 5 minutes to work with it. Okay, so we're going to go with that. It's loose enough to work with and not hard. Hard, you got to race. If it starts getting hard, race with it. That's buttered properly, sufficiently. And now we're going to let's go up there to the patch. Let's go up to the patch. This is a 6-inch taping knife. You could certainly use a different size taping knife. I wouldn't go smaller than 6-inch. Just enough to make the patch stick. Okay, we're going to put that right over there. And now that we have it stuck, right? We'll start smoothing it out. See you on the next frame. Okay, so I'm starting from the middle, pressing it down. Okay. On the first pass, I want to make sure that my patch is pressed firmly against the wall and that my ridges, at least my ridges, have plaster against them. What do I mean by my ridges? See where the patch joins the plaster? You don't see a hump there. That it's joining the wall surface together. Okay? And so we will let this firm up, and then we'll hit it again. I'll see you on the next frame. This is Strait-Flex Perma-Patch. They didn't send it to me. I asked the homeowner to run out and get it because I didn't know there was a hole in the wall, so I'm doing this free of charge. And I figured I'd make a video. Okay. Our plaster is a little more firm. Less time, of course, to work with it. But we're now going to apply another patch. And as you can see, as the patch goes beyond the hole, so does our skimming go beyond the patch, right? And that's how wall patches, plaster patches go. The idea when you do this is that you want to build a gradual bump rather than, I'm going to use a big word, not on purpose, rather than a precipitous one. In other words, your incline should not change precipitously. Like, it should be like this, so you don't notice it. I never tell my viewers this, but I have a doctorate in English literature. I'm only kidding. can't stand English literature. I tell everybody I was homeschooled in Brooklyn, New York in the early 70s into the mid 80s. That's my adolescent period. And my teacher was a wooden spoon. That's all I'll say, because you can't say that these days. I was taught by a wooden spoon. And anybody who comes from an Italian or an Irish background, they know about the wooden spoon. But the Italians used a fork because they like the pasta. The mother used a fork. Trust me, Google 70s kitchen decor and accessories, and you'll see the spoon and the fork. Okay, I kept mine. It's in my basement because I got a little trauma. All right, we're gonna wait till this dries. Just put it on that. Okay, and we're gonna start hanging wallpaper and come back to this, that's all. Okay, see you on the next frame. So after the second coat, this is about 12 to 15 minutes after the fact. Okay, I'm gonna take a wet rag and just wet sand it in a circular motion. Since circular wet sanding takes less of the plaster off. See, if I go sideways, it's more aggressive, which is what I want to do because there's a ridge there. But when I want to go nice and gently, circle. Get rid of the ridges. Okay, so we're ready perhaps for our last coat, but probably not. We're talking thin coats here, folks, thin coats. But you do want to get rid of the ridges because the ridges, you'll just keep building them up. You want to get rid of those. Okay. Ridges are not good. Okay, so that's what you want to look like when you start finishing it. You can see the edge of it. It's nice. There's no precipitous protrusion. It's gradual. So we go from this right up to the, you know what I mean. Okay, let's cover that again. Okay. Just a little bit mixed now because we're just topping it off. Now, if I weren't going to be wallpapering over this today, I would still third coat it with 5-minute mud. But the next coat would be what's called topping compound or joint compound, it's called. Because it's really soft and it's nice and easy to put on nice and thin. It doesn't dry on you that quickly, you know? You have more time to work with it. So, but this is 5-minute mud again. Someone will say, why didn't you go up? Maybe on the next coat I will go up. Okay, see you on the next frame. Okay, we have a fan on this, and so hopefully we can make this our last coat. The reason I'm going upward is because, in theory at least, it's going to hide, we're going parallel with the edge, right? And so if you just think about how that would fare better by going vertical, parallel with the edge, it's easy to realize why we would do that. So it fills in any gap that might exist between the wall where the original wall and the repair. It fills it in by going parallel with the edge of the patch material. And that's why we're going vertically. Okay, so let me show them how they look now. Now, the 5-minute mud won't be shrinking. Even though you can see those dark spots in the, the perforation holes, that doesn't mean you're going to see them beneath the wallpaper. Okay. Just hit that stop button and we're good. Last coat. This is about an hour after we began. About. Off camera, I took it upon myself to take my coarse microfiber cloth. It's coarse. In other words, has a little texture on it. It can cut into the plaster, so to speak, And so I just smoothed it out for the final coat. Okay? And let me show you how we're looking, by the way. Let me just show you up close. Looking really nice. Got to get a little more up here. But in general, we're looking pretty nice. And that'll be our final coat. Okay, my cameraman will take the camera and I will continue with our repair. We'll start over here. Now, if I were you, I would watch other videos on how to do a repair, because you might get somebody who's better and quicker than I am to explain what's got to be done here. Most of you put on the YouTube and you want the answer right away. That's usually men, usually. Sometimes women will say, you talk too much. And that's too bad. It's too bad for you. Just go somewhere else. I'm not here to be Mr. Popularity. I'm just trying to show you how I do a patch. That's really all I want to show you. And I can't go quicker than I'm going. Don't like that. Don't like that either. Okay, that is my final pass. Let me just show you. Okay. Hold on, hold the camera. Just grab that camera. They saw something and I saw something. And so, just back up with that. Nice and easy. Okay, that's gone. So there you have it. I hope you liked the video. If I helped you out, please click on like and please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. See you on the next video. So if you're going to use this garbage because you're desperate and you're a contractor and you don't want to get out your compressor and everything else, this junk, make sure you put it in hot water. Otherwise, if you're not a contractor and not desperate, even if you are a contractor, don't buy this. It's garbage. So you say, oh, why buy it? Well, it's a lot of time to get out the compressor, but once you spend 25 bucks on this can and you only get one use out of it, you'll be calling it junk too. It coagulates and the compression doesn't work as soon as after you use it the first time. Doesn't work. So I'm told if you soak it in hot water, it'll work. So that's why I'm doing this. And this is like 3/4 or more full. So I only got a little use out of this can. Give it a good shake. You got the metal ball in there, may as well use it. Shake it up well. There's an adjustment on here for fine and heavy, so you have to test it out on your plastic or wherever. I like going about 14 inches away from the wall just to feather out that edge that we made with our plaster repair. And I feather it onto the existing so that it's blended. Okay, last shot here. When you're done with this can, but you have more left, turn it upside down and press for a couple of seconds, not too many, but just discharge what's in the straw and the nozzle. This way it doesn't harden in storage and you can use it again. Let's just do that. That's it. Want to clear the nozzle and put it away for the next time. So we just masked the immediate area with tape and plastic just to do the right thing by the customer. And now we should have a nice clean line, new line of texture. Not too bad. And the nice thing about this is when it's dry, it turns white. So you'll see that it has a blue color to it. Okay, I think we'll end the video there. You got the gist of it. There's no exact science to it. It's a bit of artistry, you know, a little artistic. You know, just putting the right amount, not putting too much, too little. If you go too little, it's always easy to add. But if you go too much, just scrape it off. Meaning while it's wet. You'll see if you did too much when it's wet. Just scrape it off and redo it. You're looking at a drywall repair that I'm going to explain to you in this video how we went about it. There was another electrical box here the customer didn't want, and so we covered it and we textured over it, all within 1.5 hours worth of time. This texture, which is wet right now, will be turning white and will be hanging wallpaper right over it. Okay, so stay tuned for the video to see how we did this drywall repair patch plus matching texture following this frame. And within 2 hours after the repair, we wallpapered over it. Click on like, please subscribe.